just a boy. Everybody told me what I should do, who I should be.
It's been a while.
Nothing.
All right, I think we're good to go.
No going back.
What? Why are you? What is gonna happen here? You got me freaking out
Just
now.
click admit, bro. Oh.
Hey, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey, how's it going?
How's it going?
Good, man. What you been up to today?
Yeah, I just got back from the gym. Yeah, I was doing some stuff, getting my notes ready for today.
Wait, oh shit.
Wait, do you know what's going on?
I think so.
You just got fucking Gabriel, bro.
Okay, that's why I was so confused at first. Hell yeah.
Yeah, how are you guys doing?
What's going on? I'm doing good, man.
Oh, I'm so happy this worked.
Wait, so is it just us?
It's just, yeah, it's just gonna be us and Gabriel.
Okay, it's
Yeah,
not.
Everything else is an elaborate lie.
Dude, okay. That's fucking awesome. I was like, you were fucking saying shit. You were just like, whatever happens, happens. Don't get mad. I was like, what the hell does that even mean? Okay, awesome.
Bro,
Well, hell
I've been
yeah,
chill
dude.
as a cucumber about this for like the 3 weeks I've been planning it.
Yeah.
Fucking 10 minutes beforehand, I was like, fuck, man. What if Xavier doesn't like this?
No, I don't
Gabriel doesn't like this.
I don't give a shit. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's great.
Hell yeah. All right, so are we doing this? What's
Yeah.
up?
I mean, Gabriel, you got to tell the people who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, as you guys heard, my name is Gabriel. I'm a long-time fan of the podcast.
Friend of the show.
Hell yeah.
No, thanks, guys. Yeah, first time participating, and yeah, I hope we can make a great episode out of it.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
Yeah,
I'm-
we are
I'm
still talking
blown
about
away.
Vince McMahon. That's true.
I figured all that. We got the pictures. I was like, there's no way that was all pulled up here.
Yeah, no way. In addition to everything, I could also find 15 pictures.
Yeah, I was like, okay. But yeah, wow, okay. So yeah, Vince McMahon. I mean, where do we start? Because I need at least a little bit of education on the gentleman. I'm at least slightly familiar. He's a pretty big
Yeah,
name.
because I was going to say, like, what do you know? That's probably a good starting point.
Well, we watched that WrestleMania that one time for your birthday.
Well, you
And
watched some of it.
You claimed I fell asleep for
You
like a
did, just
third of
like-
it. I fell asleep for maybe 10 minutes, I feel like. No one else has
He
chimed
was
in on.
asleep during Rock versus Austin, Gabriel. He was asleep during Rock versus Austin.
That's
Yeah,
not
this
true.
This is like this is a wrestling scene. This is it's the greatest WrestleMania. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, the best one, dude. Oh, the turn at the end. But that's, I guess.
But yeah, he's in that, right? Because he's his.
Yeah, he's the big thing at the end.
Yes, it's something with his wife. If I, what is it? Remind me then.
It's the big betrayal when Stone Cold turns heel.
Oh, that's
The
right.
Rock turns babyface.
Okay.
They join hands, bro.
Well, he definitely has had other stuff with his wife, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was the angle before where I think Steve Austin's wife was managing The Rock. It was I sent like the promo on Discord.
Oh, okay.
It's with Limp Bizkit, and it's a really cool promo.
Okay. But yeah, so I remember the big betrayal. You know, I know he like bought it from his dad and changed it and like kind of made it what it was. You know, because it really wasn't like it was something else before, right?
Yeah. So it was the Capital Wrestling Federation, and then it was the Worldwide Wrestling Federation.
Okay.
And then it was the World Wrestling Federation.
But it was
and then-
never like WWE until it was WWE. Like it was like
No, New York was always a big territory, but everything was very, very regional before
Yeah,
Vince
but like,
came into
but
the
like,
scene.
so he didn't. Okay, but he, he extended it beyond, the branches. Reached out a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Like he's the guy who like Hulk Hogan was already like a wrestling star, but he put Hulk Hogan into like the mainstream. Like when you think of wrestling, you think of Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, and I know there's been kind of like big chapters almost, right? Like sort of like with how it's been defined, but yeah. Other than that, and him being in a lot of trouble right now, I guess not a whole lot. that's probably most of it. Most of my know-how on Vince.
That's pretty good. That's about what I expected you to have.
Yeah, that's enough. Familiar.
I didn't know what kind of like imagery you were familiar with him, like meme-wise.
It seems that he's very like hands-on, very part of the show as much as he is the owner and like main. Is he like the main writer, or was
he's
there
the head of creative?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
He makes the big decisions,
right,
but he doesn't do necessarily a lot of the groundwork.
Okay. But yeah, about that. That's probably where it ends. Knowledge of him.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean Vince's story pretty much starts with, he's a babyface announcer for the Federation starting in like I want to say 69, like young kid.
Okay.
Just doing commentary work. At some point in the 80s, he ends up buying it from his dad and a couple of the other big investors. It's $1 million is what he buys it for. So small loan, $1 million to my father.
Right. Hell yeah.
And then he took a really, really big swing on WrestleMania. And if WrestleMania didn't work out, he would have lost the company 100%.
Yeah.
Like,
because what was WrestleMania essentially just because was it always pay-per-view or was it like?
first, he was the guy who put it on pay-per-view.
Okay, right. Gotcha.
Yeah, so it's this huge moment. They get big celebrities. Cyndi Lauper does the music video with Lou Albano.
Wow.
Takes some kicks from Roddy Piper. Mr. T is in the main event. The main event of the first WrestleMania is Mr. T and Hulk Hogan versus Roddy Piper and Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
Okay.
But WrestleMania is a huge hit. Hulk Hogan is a star like no other. Especially, WrestleMania 2 is huge, big success. WrestleMania 3 is Hulk Hogan slamming Andre.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess that's another big thing to mention is before Hulkamania, it was Andre. Andre was the undefeated champion.
Right.
Who would a lot of time he'd get rented out by Vince Sr. to the other territories.
Okay.
And he'd go in there and he'd beat their top tag team by himself.
There really hasn't been a specimen like him since him, huh?
No, they've tried with Big Show and
He's
Khali.
really, I mean, just like in general, like in humans in general, not even wrestlers. He's really just.
Yeah, and that's actually a great topic because I think he had like a combination of acromegaly. That's a sickness that makes your bones and all your body structure grow without control. There's other wrestler that had it, that they based Shrek in. I forgot the name of the guy. He was a French wrestler.
Okay.
Really old timer, like 50s, 60s.
Right.
And I think Andre had a combination of gigantism and acromegaly. That's why he had that look, like the giant look.
Right. Yeah.
The really thick hands and the bone structure. It was different.
Yeah. Was he in movies?
Yeah, he's in Princess Bride.
Yeah.
He's like a huge role in Princess
I have
Bride.
to watch Princess Bride.
Yeah.
But Andre also died pretty young. He actually, it's sad as fuck. He died on the plane ride back from his father's funeral.
Oh man, that's poetic.
Yeah, that's fucked.
I mean, it's like a big dog, like a big Saint Bernard that just don't last as long. Your heart's got to work harder.
Yeah.
Your heart's not ready to handle that much beef of a man, I guess. That sucks, but damn.
Yeah.
He's a wild, yeah. I forgot about him.
Yeah, how could you forget? He's right up there.
You do have a nice portrait of him over there.
I have a beautiful Andre the Giant portrait in my room. But yeah, so WrestleMania is huge. Hulkamania is huge. That's kind of
I remember, okay, yeah.
a really big part of the story. Especially one of my favorite, stories is when Hulk Hogan was debuting. Vince wanted to make him the Irish hero as opposed to Bruno Sammartino as like the ethnic like Italian hero, and so he wanted
He was gonna
Hulk
switch
Hogan-
him.
Well, he wanted Hulk Hogan to have red hair. And a
Oh
beard.
wow, that would have been a different another timeline. That's real.
And Vince said, "Well, you have to be Irish." And Hulk Hogan, I swear to God, this is the official story, just responded, "I'll be a blonde Irish then."
Him in like kilts with like a bagpipe coming out. That's a whole new character. That's another alternate reality. That's for real.
Yeah, man. Him and Roddy Piper end up tag teaming instead.
Yeah.
But yeah, 80s go pretty smooth. The early 90s go relatively smooth. You have some young up-and-comers. Shawn Michaels. You know Shawn Michaels. Sexy boy.
Okay. Yeah, I think so.
Triple H. You know Triple H.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Triple H, by the way, stepping up to head of creative now that Vince isn't in the company.
Yeah, I was wondering. So he kind of, I mean, we won't get into it too much until, we need to, but
Yeah.
so he was Papa John, right? Kind of?
Sort of, not really.
Sort of Papa John.
I mean, because, like, his wife and son-in-law are still CEO, co-chairman,
Okay.
and head of creative. Like, he's fine.
Yeah, I guess that storytelling really gets messy with who's holding what office, huh? Like,
Yeah.
but go on.
So, yeah, everything's pretty smooth sailing for Vince through the 80s and 90s. WWE is blowing up. And then 94 is his first, like, major public scandal, and that's during the
Okay.
steroid trial.
Ooh.
So I have it. We'll put it up in post, but there's a bunch of courtroom drawings of, like, Hulk Hogan testifying against Vince McMahon.
Really?
Yeah, it's super famous. There's
For
an
the-
awesome Vice Dark Side of the Ring on it.
Oh, I could do it like here, and then we could put it in post also, right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah, and Vince is in a neck brace the whole time.
What'd he get? Oh.
I don't remember exactly how he got the injury, but he was like, had the neck brace at this point.
Okay. So I guess that gets like complicated because like, so the line does go into wrestling on steroid use being what, competitive or just illegal?
It's that steroids are illegal to have at this point. Completely illegal.
Right.
You can't just
Okay.
possess anabolic
So it's-
steroids.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
issue. Oh, go on ahead, Gabriel.
Oh, sorry. It was. I think you still can like, you can get on TRT, like it's basically steroids, but like a lower dose. Like for for example, based on your diet, you crash your testosterone completely and go to the doctor. He will prescribe you testosterone.
Okay.
And then it's the same thing. You have normal testosterone, just like you crashed it with your diet. So like the doctor will prescribe, and I think a lot of the guys are using it like today. If they are not using straight steroids, they are on TRT and other stuff.
Okay. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Well, but the big issue was that Vince was supposedly supplying the steroids to these wrestlers, which
Okay.
is complicated for a myriad of reasons. You have the fact that, one, you're pushing a dangerous substance on guys to become bigger stars, to become larger than life.
Is WWE a public company at this point or no?
WWE is not a public company at this
Okay.
point.
But
I
still.
want to say they went public in 2001, but I could be wrong.
Okay. But okay, so it was just a matter, like the money's still going to like some cartel potentially wherever these steroids are coming from. Like, yeah, that's
Yeah, and WWE is still like the biggest game in town too, but there was like a big faction of people inside the WWE that thought Vince was going to go to prison, and like, lose ownership of the WWE. So much so that they had like brought Jeff Jarrett's father, in to like take over the WWF if that's what needed to happen.
Do you know what his like potential was? It going to be like 15 years or something? You know, like what it was going to
I want to say it would have been like 5 to 10 years.
enough to you can't be calling the shots from
Right.
fucking jail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but everything's still going on, and at this point, Vince is still the babyface like announcer, just like a pretty cordial guy.
Right.
Like, he would occasionally, when he was younger, go to like the other territories and work heel, just to like go somewhere else and be the New York guy.
Okay.
But
yeah.
up to this point, he's only been a babyface until pretty much 97. And it's really not even until the steroid trial, not public knowledge that Vince is the owner.
Okay.
So after that, he's sort of transitioning out of the announcership. And then 97 rolls around, specifically Montreal 97. And I think Gabriel can tell us what happens there.
Yeah, so I think it's what I am thinking. So 97 rolls in. They have a champion that's Bret Hart.
Yes, sir, the Hitman.
Yeah, and he's on his way out. Like he's leaving the company as a champion. And that's like they have this agreement that he will beat Shawn Michaels in Canada, where he's like a big babyface. He's Canadian from Calgary.
Okay.
So that's the agreement. They have the finish for the match like sorted out, and then Vince he gets with the. I don't think it was a creative thing at the time. I don't think it was the same as today, but it's the. He goes like with Jim Cornette and the guys like from backstage, and they say like we have to double cross him.
Oh shit.
We can't let him like leave as a champion because it's prejudicial to our product. So we have to make some kind of finish to double cross him.
Damn.
And then Jim Cornette, he admitted this like pretty recently that he was the one that came up with the finish for the match, the double cross. So then the match happens, and I think that it was like a sharpshooter. Or
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, Shawn puts
But
Bret's own submission on him, the sharpshooter.
yeah, he puts Bret on his own move at the final, and he holds him longer than he expected. So it's a double cross, and Bret's like he wants to he wants to beat the shit out of of Shawn Michaels. He's really mad, and then he goes on media and tells everybody that it was a double cross, and kind of like exposes the business. Like he breaks kayfabe big time.
Yeah, huge deal.
Does he?
That's hard to that's hard to say like, oh, I lost, I shouldn't have lost without like
It
outright.
was not the agreement.
Yeah.
He put himself over the business in that situation. It's something that is overlooked. Like he completely exposed the business after that, and people don't seem to remember that as much as like the actual screw job.
What's the order again?
But-
Your opponent, the business, then yourself.
Yeah, so you protect the business, you protect your opponent, and then yourself.
So the business is first.
Business is first.
Business is first. Okay, so he double crossed back.
Yeah.
He double crossed back.
Bret Hart is 100% the babyface of this story until he does that.
Yeah.
And Jim Cornette's
then,
the
like-
angry guy with the podcast, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he deserves a whole episode on himself. He's crazy.
Yeah, me and Gabriel both Cult of Cornette
Yeah,
members.
I'm a
Big
cultist.
time.
I hear
Yes, sir.
I hear that a lot around here on the TV.
Yeah. I love Jim Cornette, bro.
No, he's got an energy about him for sure.
Yeah, he's old school.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so Vince pretty much has no choice but to like react to everything that like is out there now.
Okay.
Between the controversy of the steroid trial, which is still like fresh in everyone's minds. Like, you know how time is when you're an adult.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh shit, that was 2 years ago. It seems like it was yesterday.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
And it's just like, oh, last time I heard about Vince McMahon in the news was because he's in the steroid trial. So he has to address it. Vince McMahon also ends up exposing the business,
Okay.
which is the only thing that really gets Bret off the hook at this point.
Is that someone else bigger did it?
Right.
Yeah.
Because Bret doing it would have been really just like unacceptable. I mean, it was unacceptable to do that and be like, yeah, I'm not the top champion of this company because it's fake.
Yeah, that is. Yeah.
And it's not like he wasn't going to be a pro wrestler anymore, too. It wasn't like he was getting out of the business. He was just going to a different wrestling company.
Oh, I thought he was retiring.
No, he was going
oh, wow. Okay. Yeah.
No, so that was the big thing was Cornette claims this, and a lot of other people claim it, too, that I'll back up. Some people claim that the reason they had to do the screw job was because they were afraid Brett was going to show up on Nitro, the other company's show, WCW. They thought he was going to show up with the title the next day and throw it in the trash because they had like recently done that with one of WWE's women's champions.
Yeah.
And so they had to screw him. But everyone like in the know understood that Brett couldn't appear on their TV for 30 days because of his contract.
Okay.
What they were worried about was Eric Bischoff, the president of WCW, coming out before the episode and saying, "We just signed the WWF champion. He's going to be here in a month."
I was gonna say about the contract. So I guess
It's another controversial part of this whole story.
Yeah, because if they double cross him, is that just like, are you allowed to just do like a Shyamalan twist on him, or is there some shit that they signed where it was like, you're winning, and then they broke that? You know what I mean? Because because of the way that works, I don't know how set everything is.
Yeah, I mean, again, this was a private company at this point, so like every contract is different.
Yeah.
It's kind of impossible to say without looking at him. But the big thing was that Brett had actually like infamously signed a 20-year deal with WWE.
And they were breaking it?
And they agreed to break it, yeah. Because
hey, if they let him break a contract, I think, yeah, you might get a little twisted on there.
Because he was saying WWE business is down at this point. WCW is on the way up. The New World Order is forming. Hogan is turning heel in WCW at this point. It's just like
the New World Order is forming is a scary sentence.
Yeah,
if you don't have the context.
Yeah. So, and there's a thing like, at this point, like WCW was a big like menace to WWF, like more than AEW like will ever be, in my opinion. Like AEW, it's like a bunch of. I don't want to talk shit about AEW too much, but they are not like as menacing as WCW was, and they have all the resources, but they just can't help themselves. Like, but so like, and it would like Vince was legit threatened by WCW at that time, because that's why like the whole like screw job happened. A lot of stuff happened because of like WCW could have like ran WWF out of business.
Okay.
Yeah. And at this point, Vince is realizing he can't fulfill this contract to Brett. So he tells Brett, "Hey, I know WCW offered you triple what I offered you, but I said you'll be the champion if you stay and you'll get this long contract, and then when you're retired, you'll like help me call the shots. I can't honor that anymore. You should say that you have an escape clause in your contract and go negotiate with WCW and get that triple contract."
Okay.
So that's what they did. And they agreed to it, and then the screw job happened on his way out.
Yeah, that's an iffy one. I don't.
But anyways, so Vince, kind of has to take this head on, and at first he wants to be like the same old Vince McMahon, babyface Vince McMahon, make Brett the bad guy. But pretty soon it turns out that Brett screwed Brett wasn't like the babyface rallying cry he thought it was going to be, and that's the start of the Mr. McMahon character.
Okay.
When he starts becoming this larger-than-life villain with the walk and the "you're fired"
with the face, yeah. So was that inspired by Trump, the "you're fired"? Or I guess was The Apprentice wasn't a thing yet, huh? So I guess Trump stole that from him.
Yeah.
But what year is that now? So
that's November of '97, I think, would have been Survivor Series.
Okay.
And the Montreal screw job. So rolling into '98, Stone Cold Steve Austin wins King of the Ring. Austin 316 happens. That's when it starts happening for Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
And, his feud with Austin is gigantic. It carries them through, like, the early 2000s. The Rock comes out and becomes a star. Triple H is really coming into his own. You still get Shawn Michaels back towards the end of it. Tons of guys. I mean, it's the Attitude Era when they were drawing in 8 times what they were drawing in now on a bad week.
Yeah, coming in on turn of the millennium, did they do anything exciting for that?
Well, Chris Jericho, his whole thing was being Y2J.
Okay.
So they had like a big countdown clock, and in the middle of The Rock cutting a promo, the clock hit 0, and he came out and did a Jesus pose in a sweet-ass light-up jacket. It's fucking awesome.
So was that its peak, 98? Like in terms of
that's what a lot of people would say.
Viewers, okay.
Pro wrestling in general, because
right.
that's the Monday Night Wars.
That makes sense. That seems like the era where it would have been thriving, like the most.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Fucking,
the attitude fit it.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was just they had really morphed for the culture, and they did it too with the '80s. The '80s was this big, colorful, larger than life, and that's why you had like superhero Hulk Hogan and Bret Hart in the big pink sunglasses and
Yeah.
tights, even though he
Macho
was
Man.
Macho Man.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say Jesse Ventura, but I think he was not a wrestler at this point anymore.
Right, he got
In
hurt
the
pretty young.
mid-80s. Yeah, no, he got like blood clots,
Oh,
and
damn.
he couldn't wrestle anymore because of the blood thinner.
He ain't got time to bleed.
Yeah, he's a great guy. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you got the early 2000s, and this is really when Vince becomes like Mr. McMahon outside of WWE.
Okay.
Like, he's always been Mr. McMahon well, he hasn't always been. We just kind of covered that. But he's been Mr. McMahon on TV for a while.
Yeah.
But this is when he starts becoming like this loud, obnoxious, fuck you, I'm the best.
It's
Like,
yeah.
he becomes a motherfucker
Okay.
in like kind of the best possible way, because that's when he's starting the XFL, and I was gonna have it pulled up as a picture, but now I'm gonna have to read it off my phone.
I can pull it up.
Oh yeah,
Which one?
it'll just say XFL.
I should pull it up. Oh,
So
there it goes. Yeah.
I guess you go ahead and read it, Xavier.
Get ready for X-rated football. After the Super Bowl, that showcase for prima donnas and panty waists. What is panty waist? Comes a whole new ball game. A game with more blood and guts, kicks in the nuts, and sheer smash mouth spectacle than the cold corporate National Football League could ever give you. That's the hype anyway. And whether you call it XFL PR or XFL BS, this new pro league is a bold play by XFL founder Vince McMahon, the hype master with balls as brassy as the wrestling shows that made him a billionaire. Damn. It's powerful.
Big brassy balls. I love it.
That's like kicking and screaming.
Yeah.
I've got balls. But yeah, wow. So the XFL was that trying that was wasn't there like a basketball, or is that murder ball that I'm thinking of?
Yeah, you're thinking of a whole made-up thing. XFL had some really, really silly things, though. For one, you could put whatever you wanted on the back of your jersey. Can I read it?
Is it what does it say? He hate me? Oh, that's from Workaholics.
Well,
That's what I know. He hate
Yeah.
he hate me from is from that Workaholics reference.
yeah. So Rod Smart, running back, never really cut it in the NFL. He caught on with a couple teams for a couple weeks.
Okay.
But got super famous in the XFL. He was one of the better players, and he had the "He Hate Me" jersey.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where like there was guys on the other team who changed their jerseys to say "I hate him" and "I hate him too."
You could change them at any given moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can just put
That's
whatever.
fun. That's like a video game, like playing online. You get to change your little username.
Right, because it was the big like the big 2000s like uncensored kick.
Right.
Like, oh, these NFL players are getting fined for putting Ocho Cinco on the back of their jersey. It's,
Right.
you know,
Jackass was on the up and up. There's a lot going on that
Exactly.
fit the XFL.
that
The
whole
people-
culture. That's why I wanted to talk about Vince McMahon. Is
Yeah.
one, the news with him lately, but also just the way he embodied the culture.
Yeah, he knew what people wanted, and not in like a a gimmicky way.
Yeah,
really, he knew.
He is like what I see the media as.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're in early 2000 now.
Yeah, early 2000s, XFL happens. Oh, I didn't talk about other silly things in the XFL.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
I
I'll
guess some of them were kind of cool. Like they had set pay for everyone, like per position, so that like free agency wouldn't be a thing and guys would play with the same teams longer and stuff like that.
Okay.
But the funniest thing
Fair.
about it was that instead of a kickoff, how do you think they decided who got the ball first?
Oh man, a lot of things come to mind that probably isn't what it was.
Gabriel, do you know?
No, I don't have a lot of knowledge on XFL.
No, I have no idea how.
They would have a foot race between the captains.
The captains, like,
Yeah, the captains
okay.
of the team would run a 50-yard dash against each other.
Yeah, Tom Brady would not make the cut.
Right. He'd never become the leader he needed to be in the XFL.
Wow, that's a new way to do it. Might as well mix it up if you're gonna mix up the. So did people like die? Did people get like, really hurt?
So the XFL only made it like one season.
I figured it didn't make it long.
It
The
folded.
best stuff never does.
Right. The interest wasn't there. And they didn't have like the structure for it. Like they didn't go out and get good commentators. They put wrestling commentators like Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler and just had them do football, and it didn't work.
Might be hard to find like sponsors too if that was your pitch. The thing I just read there.
Yeah.
If you said they said balls like 4 times in that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like
Wait till you see like one of his insane statements later.
Okay.
I cannot like express to you a bomb that I'm waiting to drop until later.
okay.
Yeah, there's actually something I wanted. I think it's pre-XFL. Vince McMahon could actually have bought UFC on the early days.
Oh, wow.
It was suggested by his son, Shane.
Yeah.
And he just ignored it. He thought it was stupid. And now I think the UFC is, I think it may be worth more or a little bit less than WWE now.
Holy
So,
shit. That'd be
It's
nuts.
a good thing he didn't buy because I think he would have ruined it.
It's like a
I think it would be
monopoly
the
on
same.
fights. He's got a
Yeah.
monopoly on fighting.
Yeah, that really would have been and that's a really good point, Gabriel.
It's like a blockbuster Netflix special or situation. Just like, nah, get out of here. Don't want that. So you just ignored it, or you didn't believe in it? 'Cause it's kind of funny if you.
Well, I think he had interest in it, but it came down to he had enough money to do that or the XFL at the time.
Shit! Wow.
And he put it in the XFL.
But yeah, I guess. Do you think because UFC is pretty cut and dry, not really too performative. I guess it's a little performative when they're calling each other out, huh?
Yeah,
Conor
they-
McGregor
they
likes
still- They steal a lot from like wrestling
Okay.
as far as like promos. If you see like Michael Chandler cut a promo, he's new to the UFC. I think he has 3 or 4 fights, but he's a long time Bellator fighter and a long time MMA veteran. So, but when he cuts a promo, you can see he flips the switch,
Okay.
and he becomes like a wrestling personality. I sent a couple of promos of him on Discord too,
So is it-
and yeah, and Conor McGregor too. He says he hates WWE and stuff, but
Oh, he's going there.
You think so?
nah,
He'll be in the
After-
WWE.
Oh,
no, Brock Lesnar buried him. Have you seen
Well,
what
Brock's not gonna be with the company anymore.
Yeah, Brock Lesnar quit. I think Brock
Oh, wow.
Lesnar I think he may be scared that some of the stuff Vince did may like spill on him or something
shit.
like that.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
he was,
it's weird the way he quit.
So there's at least a somewhat percent, like a 0.001% chance that Conor McGregor will join the WWE and wrestle Logan Paul.
yeah. Oh, the Logan Paul DLC just came out for WWE 2K22.
No, he didn't.
Can we please,
Yeah,
can we please buy the
So-
game for the podcast
Yeah.
with the T-shirt money?
Yeah, I'm gonna say something about Logan Paul.
Holy
You can say whatever about him, as far as a person, but as
He
a
can go.
wrestler, he's good. He's really good.
He's a good wrestler.
I'm sure he's
Better
gonna
than-
do a good job. I mean, he's a showman.
Except they're making him a
Yeah.
good guy.
that doesn't
That's
make
where they're
sense.
gonna blow it. That's where they're gonna blow it.
They didn't
Yeah,
see
he
the-
can't be a baby face.
What if he comes
After
out?
they-
What if he comes out with the
Sorry.
Toy Story alien hat? As a good guy from
Yeah,
the video.
I was going to mention this right now. He can't be a baby face after the Japan incident.
yeah, it's hard to, but I guess they did it. Maybe he'll switch. Maybe someone will be like,
Yeah.
remember this, and they'll play it mid wrestling match, and he'll have a transformation and fight to heel.
You don't think you don't think they could do like they did with Brett, where Brett was only a face in Japan or only a face in Canada? They can't make Logan only a heel in Japan.
Yeah.
It's all
I
about
don't
the
think he's
respect.
even like. I think he may be banned from Japan after that one.
Yeah, I think
I
he's not
don't
gonna
know.
do any tours.
If he's not banned, he's probably been politely asked not to come back.
Yeah.
Please never come back.
Yeah. So I just remember something. We were talking about Japan. I know you know him, Dave. Don Muraco.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he said like something really interesting about double crosses. I forgot to mention what we were talking about, but I think it's kind of important. Double crosses were a thing of the past by the 60s. So it was really like unheard of on the 90s. It was completely like unexpected to something like the screw job happening.
Yeah.
Did that set a new precedent? Did it happen like all of a sudden?
No, I think.
So back in the 30s, there was a similar situation. I want to say it was the 30s because there was a death. I have Death of the Territories on my bookshelf here.
Oh, okay,
But it was like the 30s or something. I'm probably screwing up the dates, but one of the champions, they did a double cross on him, had the guy just like pin him, like cinch up on a pin, kick the shit out of him. It wasn't quite as smooth as Vince's double cross.
Yeah,
it was actually like he had to forcibly beat him in the middle of the ring.
Okay,
and then that champion went on and trashed the business and buried the business and exposed it, and the business did die off for a while. And that's a big part of also why WWE succeeded, because they had these ethnic heroes like Bruno Sammartino and Tito Santana, and there was these big non-English speaking sections of New York who didn't read the newspapers when the wrestling business was getting savaged, and came to the sport and were attracted to the sport.
Yeah.
And there's people think like, oh, wrestling fans were stupid. They how they believed like a guy hitting like a Three Amigos or some like really impossible move.
Right.
But if you watch like matches from the 60s and the 50s, they are super like realistic because they are like derivative from shoot wrestling. That shoot wrestling was an actual like martial art, like like fighting. So it was like MMA, but for old timers. Then they started like figuring out like we can fake this and not kill each other on the ring and still make money. So I think that's the origin from like for wrestling. That's why people believe it for a long time.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's the big change too. Is like back in the day, since they kept everything relatively simple, if a babyface was getting beat down and then hit a drop kick out of nowhere, that was a huge comeback. Now the drop kick is just the start of a comeback for anyone. Like you see a drop kick every fucking match.
Yeah.
Like every 500 drop kicks on Xbox match.
So something before I forget, so we're in early 2000s, so something pretty significant happened in the early 2000s, and there was a very significant wrestling match, am I wrong, where they went overseas. Was it not Christmas in Iraq? Where Santa...
Yeah, that would have been like mid-early 2000s.
This is where Santa wrestled Osama or something, took him down.
Well, I'll do you one better for one of Vince's late 90s, early 2000s opponents.
Okay.
Vince McMahon is the only person to defeat God in a wrestling match.
Okay.
And I wish we could play the clips. There's no way we can play anything WWE without getting censored.
Claimed.
But literally, Vince calls out God, and then they play like clouds on the Titantron, and like mist comes up. And they have a spotlight just like come to the ring.
Yeah, I don't know how like Jim Cornette survived that. I think he nearly had a heart attack or something like that.
He seems like because I thought the double crossing almost seemed out of like what he would be up to. I guess that's probably the craziest he wants to get is that.
That's the other thing with Cornette. Is Cornette? We keep backtracking, but it's fine. We're having a good conversation.
I'm learning about wrestling.
This is going perfectly.
Yeah, we are converting it.
Yeah, but Cornette claims that he's backstage with Russo and Vince, like the night before, week before, creative meeting before, whatever. And Vince Russo says something dumb, as always, as Cornette would say.
Okay.
Bro. I got Vince Russo's book on my shelf, too.
How many wrestler books you got up there?
I got a couple. I got Mick Foley's book. I don't know what happened to my Chris Jericho book. And I got a couple wrestling Playboys, too.
Did Ian steal it?
Yeah.
What was I talking about? Alex, the Playboys got distracted.
Oh, God. And Jim Cornette.
And Jim Cornette.
Being okay with it.
And so Jim Cornette says something snotty about one of Russo's ideas. And then Vince is in like a huff and says, well, what would you do then? And Cornette goes, oh, I'd do a fucking screw job. I don't know.
Okay.
And then Cornette claims he didn't know. Vince didn't say, oh, I'm going to do that.
Great idea, bro.
So, the official story on the screw job is the only people who knew were Vince. I'm forgetting who the main number one backstage was. Pat.
Okay.
who Pat Patterson. I don't know why I was blanking on his
Pat
name.
Patterson.
You see, it's easy.
Pat Patterson
Pat
knew,
Patterson.
and the referee. I can't remember. I think it was one of the Hebners, Earl or Dave.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the referee found out right beforehand.
Okay, that must
because
sweating.
he was boys with Brett, and Brett even is specifically quoted as saying like, "Hey man, don't count me out." And
Yeah.
Earl didn't count him out. He rang for the bell when he didn't submit.
Okay.
But
So he wrestled God. So yeah, I could see Jim Cornette being angry about that.
yeah, Vince is wrestling God.
That's a little.
Christmas in Iraq.
Yeah, the
The
Christmas.
Kiss My Ass Club with Vince.
Kiss my ass
Yeah.
club.
Yeah, Vince
hell?
went on a whole thing of like forcibly having people kiss his ass as like
What?
punishments for losing matches. He did it to women,
Like
and,
bare ass, like
women.
the South
bare
Park?
ass, like
Yeah, bare
pulls
ass.
down his pants. You can watch. There's whole compilations of it on YouTube.
Yeah, I guess since we'll get claimed, go look up all of these. The God, the ass kissing, the Christmas in Iraq. You have to look those up on your own accord.
And
dude.
they've covered up a
If you're-
few things if you go to watch things on Peacock. But if you're looking for any of the real offensive stuff, it's still on YouTube. You won't find Vince saying the N-word on Peacock, but it's on YouTube.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
easily.
so he is like Papa
So-
John. No,
Yeah, but it was in like a sketch. It was in like the early 2000s. It's funny for like white guys to say the N-word when they shouldn't in like a
that
hip
was a
way.
big thing, wasn't it? There's a
Yeah.
lot of comedians that it was specifically that was the joke. Was just white guy
Yeah,
says
that
the N-word.
was like, it wasn't like socially acceptable, but it was like quote unquote normal to see people say doing
Yeah, it
that
was
at that time. Not that it was right, but it happened.
Yeah, the culture
Like with John
changes.
Cena.
But okay, yeah. So what's next? I guess what's
So the big thing is John Cena really kind of comes onto the scene.
what, like 2003, 4?
4, 5, because he
Okay.
just celebrated his 20-year reunion in WWE. So he would have like
Wow.
been doing some little things in 2002. Like that would have been his debut against Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
And so 2002 is when Randy Orton, John Cena, Batista, and Lesnar might be 2001, 2003. Anyway, all those guys, the Ohio Valley wrestling kids, Dolph Ziggler was in there too. They all kind of come up together.
Okay.
And so they've got this whole new generation of star power.
Yeah,
And-
Ohio Valley Wrestling, just like they basically like produced like 10 years of like stars
Yeah.
from like one generation.
Yeah, ran by Danny Davis and Jim Cornette.
Cornette again.
I was curious if John Cena or The Rock had been in like more movies. Probably The Rock, right?
Yeah, The Rock started earlier than John Cena. John Cena is pretty like recently
Yeah.
doing movies.
I just know he's been dropping them. They've never wrestled, right?
Yeah, they did.
Oh, they did. Okay.
Yeah, it was billed as a once-in-a-lifetime match at WrestleMania.
Because they're like the
And
two.
then they did it the next WrestleMania.
Because Because they must be technically bigger than like Hulk Hogan, right?
No,
In just
I don't think so.
in terms of just like people's knowledge, I guess. I guess people probably.
I think because of the internet, maybe yes, but like Hulkamania was just like a phenom. Like, if you
Yeah.
think about it, like there was no internet, just TV, and people were like going crazy for Hulk Hogan.
That's
so,
a good. That's a good
John
point.
Cena ain't got no Saturday morning cartoon.
I know,
Yeah.
but more. I feel like more moms want a piece of The Rock or John Cena than they did Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. People wanted to fuck Hulk Hogan, dude.
Yeah.
People still want to fuck Hulk Hogan.
No, I'm sure. I'm just talking
Yeah, that's-
numbers.
Yeah, that's a big debate. I think it came up like 2 times on the Discord already. It's like if moms prefer like The Rock or John Cena.
we gotta put Hulk Hogan in there. We gotta slip
Yeah,
in.
Hulk Hogan has to.
Yeah,
I think
and
because of like the receding hairline, he may get like rejected or something.
Changes him a little, yeah.
and
Yeah, he-
Rocky and Big Match John are definitely bigger movie stars than Hogan ever was. But as far as like wrestling, no way.
Okay.
They were not drawing the single houses. Rock could have been, absolutely, but he went into movies so early.
Changed it up, yeah.
Like he just wasn't around in wrestling that long to be.
Okay.
Because 97, like when we were talking about Survivor Series, he was still Rocky Maivia in like mid 97 to
I actually
join the
just
Nation
saw-
of Domination.
I saw like a YouTube reel or whatever the hell they're called on there, the shorts, of like how he got his name, And just how like that was dad's name and grandpa's name combined.
Yeah, because his grandfather was the High Chief Peter Maivia, and his dad's Rocky Johnson.
And he didn't like it, and then some Irish guy or Scottish guy was just like, "How about The Rock?" And he was like, "All right." And that was it. I was like, "Damn, looks like The Rock. It works." No crazy story.
And he's not the original The Rock. He's the original like The Rock, but like Rock. I think it was Don Muraco, the first one.
Okay.
He was The Rock.
Okay.
Yeah, but then like stealing from one people, it's stealing, and stealing from a lot of people, it's just like referencing. So
Right. Yeah. Just
the
depends
wrestling business, there's a lot of stealing going around.
Yeah, Cornette's got a great quote about it. You steal it from one place, it's plagiarism. You steal it from two places, it's innovating.
Yeah, I was trying to quote that, but
Yeah.
I botched it.
It's definitely inspiration, like taking inspiration from stuff once you have a couple things referenced or slightly referenced at least.
Yeah, so the 2000s roll around. Early 2000s, Vince actually buys out WCW, his biggest competition. That's another huge thing, too, is at this point, he's bought out WCW. He's started the XFL, and at the time when the XFL was going, like, Vince is hot shit, bro. Like,
Yeah.
He's on top of the world.
He just like eliminated like the biggest threat to his company, so it's just like sweet, like a calm sea now because there's nothing. They are the apex now. So
Did he absorb them or like liquidate them?
He bought them, and then he ran the shows for a little bit longer, but then he did like a whole invasion angle where the WCW guys came in, and then he also bought out ECW and did the same thing.
The wrestlers kept they just joined in.
Some of them. So that was a big thing, was that a lot of the guys had contracts with Turner, the network that owned WCW, and those contracts were not bought out when WWE bought out the rest of the contracts. And so guys like Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, and Hulk Hogan were sitting at home getting full paychecks. And those contracts would have gotten canceled if they went to work for WWE, who wasn't going to pay them that kind of money.
So they just got paid.
They got paid to sit at home.
Wow.
Which why wouldn't you?
Right.
Especially guys who have been on the road their entire lives, seeing their kids like 50 days out of the year.
Now just make that money. Yeah, that makes sense.
Hell yeah. And 2005 TNA kind of starts up. They make a little bit of chatter. They're not really competition for Vince.
So there's just locals though, and once he bought those two.
Once WCW and ECW go down, yeah, the biggest independent promotion, probably Smoky Mountain at that point. I mean, you have like New Japan and like those international companies.
That's less of a threat.
yeah, but they're not like direct competition. They are like from another market. So yeah, and ECW had like a really niche audience. Like really like people like to compare like the ECW audience to like Nirvana fans, like grunge stuff. But
Okay.
I don't think they transitioned like to WWE, because WWE was like a really like clean product compared to what ECW was. So yeah, I think he bought it more because of like the wrestlers, not because of he wanted to just take the fan base with it.
Right.
Yeah, and honestly, if he would have pulled it off, the whole invasion angle is a really cool idea.
Yeah.
The idea of the two biggest wrestling companies clashing, and you get to see all these dream matches. But they didn't get it. Sting never ended up coming in, so you don't get Undertaker and Sting. You never get Hogan versus Austin. Like all these matches, it should have paid off and don't happen.
Yeah.
I think Hogan versus Austin didn't happen because Austin didn't want to work with Hogan.
That's
if
also
I'm not
true.
Mistaken.
No, that's definitely true.
Did that piss off fans? I kind of blue ball a bunch of people, thinking they were gonna get those, and then they didn't.
Definitely Undertaker and Sting. Everyone really wanted that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. What was like the Undertaker gimmick looked like at the time?
At that point,
this match could have happened. It was the American Badass.
Yeah, it was American Badass, because that's Diamond Dallas Page came over and was doing the stalker thing when he's the American Badass.
Oh, okay. So Sting would be like the Crow Sting.
Yeah, he would have been Crow Sting, or he might have even been like the most recently seen version of him might have been like Wolfpack Sting with the red face paint.
Oh, okay.
Do you think Sting and Sting from the Police have ever met?
They have to.
I feel like they've
Yeah,
had to, right?
There's a big chance.
One time, I met Sting, the wrestler, very briefly at an
Oh,
indie
shit.
wrestling show, and I told Caleb about it, and him and Jake both thought I met Sting from the Police. And they just thought he was at a wrestling show.
I know there's 2 Stings even.
But man, I love Sting, and he's in Ready to Rumble, and Sting is so cool. But that's not the point.
Yeah.
So, you kind of get into the later 2000s. 2008, Cena is like
Yeah.
megastar and ascending still. 12 Rounds has just come out. The Marine has just come out. He's at this point, he's not trying to be a movie star. He's becoming a movie star because he knows it makes it more more marketable, and therefore the WWE more marketable.
Yeah.
And everyone gets to make more money.
It's kind of like giving, protect the business. If the business is hurting and you start doing movies, that's going to help the business. Protect
Plus-
the business.
Yeah.
We can't miss you if you don't go away. So you go off and film a movie for a couple months, you get to have a big return. You never go film a movie, you never go away, you never have a big return.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
But Cena, at this point, pushes for the product to become PG, and it's going to stay PG.
Oh, I forgot about
for until it's about to become TV-14 again. So very, very relevant, very timely.
People hated that, right?
A lot of people were upset.
I could see that.
But
That's a
sponsors
big
weren't
jump.
upset.
PG and PG-14 are very different. or
And,
can be, at least.
I mean, and that's when Impact or TNA really gets its like boost, because now Raw is no longer on Spike. They're moving over to USA, getting in with the NBC crowd, Universal.
okay.
Spike is no longer airing Raw, so they end up giving a time slot to TNA. Also, they put some UFC stuff on Spike, so that's really coming up in 2008 as like the counterculture to WWE. But then TNA tries to like go to war with WWE in like 2012. It really doesn't pan out. They really get their asses beat and kind of die off forever.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now Vince is really like trying to chill out the public persona.
I've noticed he's definitely got his foot off the gas.
Well, or even in the 2000s, he's starting to chill out because
Yeah.
Linda is starting to run for office, get involved in the Republican Party. I mean, even recently, she was part of Trump's cabinet. She
Forgot
was
about that.
some sort of
That's
cabinet
insane.
member. That's crazy.
That's a little too influential.
Oh, and I guess we even skipped the whole Trump and
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we forgot.
About the Trump's debut. So
yeah.
he was only on one, right?
Trump was on one WrestleMania, yeah, and he didn't wrestle.
Yeah. Then he hit somebody with something once, or
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he interfered in the match. I don't remember.
Yeah, I
The important
remember
part is that the whole storyline is that Trump has bought WWE and become like a majority owner or a minority owner. He has like 49, Vince has 51, or vice versa.
oh my god.
And
Okay.
but WWE is a publicly traded company at this point, and their stock tanks when the Donald Trump stuff comes out. So then they admit again they expose the business, and they have to publicly announce that Trump does not actually own WWE, so that the stock stops falling. By the way, WWE stock, I got an alert today because I own some, up 10% today.
Okay.
Pretty
Is
good.
it a nice stock? Is
Yeah, I
it-
think
I would buy
for stocks,
WWE right
that's
now.
Okay.
I would buy WWE right now if you had money to invest.
Cash
like
on all
for
the Doge.
stocks. For stocks, like 10% is huge. Like it's huge.
Yeah.
Like
In a day?
yeah, it's not every day.
Okay, right. Yeah, today. Damn.
That doesn't happen a lot of times.
I'm gonna kill all
But-
my Dogecoin. Put it into
Dude, I think WWE is a better investment than Doge at this point for sure.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, so and then it ends up being loser gets their head shaved match between Umaga, who's The Rock's cousin, and Bobby Lashley, who went on to become like a real MMA fighter and now is back in WWE and a former WWE World Champion.
They're kind of allowed to add whatever stakes they want, huh? Children's custody, someone getting their head shaved.
Yeah, if you sign the contract.
Yeah.
That's why the contract signing is the most important thing in sports entertainment.
Was there actual like people positions to be held or lost by a match, like moving up in the company off a match? Or I'm trying to think of something
Like,
wild.
ownership of the company has been on the line in matches like all the time.
Okay.
Power,
Okay. That's okay.
power struggles and crazy shit.
That makes sense.
I mean, people always have like loser leaves town matches.
right.
Do a good
Banished.
job. Yeah.
Banished from the village if you lose.
Yeah, you can add whatever stipulation you want.
Nice.
just because.
Okay. And I guess that might be actually legally enforceable, huh? If it's a contract, you agree to leave the city and never come back.
Yeah, yeah. Back like I think the 80s or like even earlier, these like loser leaves town matches. Like when the guy like leave like quote unquote leave town, they wouldn't heard from him like in a long time. So it looked like really realistic.
Okay,
Like,
yeah.
the guy just vanished because there was no like you wouldn't see him on Twitter like
True.
talking about it.
That really is
Yeah.
such a damn difference. Like, the people were talking about Hulk Hogan, even though there was no social media, that you couldn't find somebody on Twitter doing, Snickers bar commercials or something. Like, it really was different when there was no Twitter to like check in on this specifically, but other shit in general. It's a good point. But
Yeah.
I was gonna say something maybe. I was gonna say it's very Western. Like this town ain't big enough for the two of us type of
absolutely.
like it's a classic
storytelling.
classic beef to have with somebody. You gotta fucking go.
Yeah, and usually, pretty clear sides, a black hat and a white hat. Although occasionally you get like a Clint Eastwood tweener.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, Vince really for the most part stays out of trouble at this point. He spends a lot of time like mending bridges. Bret Hart comes back
Yeah.
during the war with TNA. They make their peace and finally have like a match at WrestleMania that Bret gets to win and get his
Okay.
comeuppance on the evil Mr. McMahon.
Right.
For the most part, the wrestler deaths really start getting a little bit better after Benoit and Umaga go
Okay.
and Eddie. I mean, those are some really, really tough losses in the mid-2000s that we just kind of skipped over, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Benoit one especially very, very
Wild.
huge.
And they very different. Because how did the other ones die?
Eddie died of a drug overdose.
Okay.
Sorry.
And who else did I say?
Umaga
Umaga
Banks
died of
and Cena.
drugs.
Okay.
Or
Drugs?
heart complications because of drugs
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
steroids and stuff.
That makes sense. Okay. But yeah, no, I mean that's I'm sure significant and like
Well-
very
And
Yeah,
also,
and
go ahead,
sorry.
Gabriel.
yeah, and people really like speculate about like Eddie Guerrero death, especially because they say it's directly like not responsible, but he was like Benoit's best friend, and when he died, it impacted like Benoit big time. That
Oh,
wasn't a stable individual, so that played a big part of what he did.
damn, I
So
didn't know that.
it's really it's fucked up.
Yeah.
Well, and another really fucked up about the Benoit thing is they aired an angle where Vince McMahon's limousine got blown up the week before, and Vince McMahon was supposed to be dead. They killed Vince McMahon off, and then had that real death, and they had to like,
Have him come out hand in hand like I'm not actually dead.
yeah,
Yeah.
and end
Sorry.
up doing like an illegitimate storyline with a Hornswoggle, the leprechaun midget.
That's the worst timing. That's like that one that ARG video game that they were making, and like in the game like the game development company like caught on fire and it released like 2 weeks before 9/11, and it drew just this like scary parallel, and no one wanted to play this like fourth wall breaking game anymore because that just happened. It was just something that would have like worked like because that would have been huge.
Yeah, or that gangster movie that came out right after the second Batman or third Batman.
Whoa,
There was the Aurora shooting, but
Oh my
the
God.
whole big featured scene in the trailer of this gangster movie is a bunch of people sitting on one side of a movie screen and they fire through the like projector at people.
Oh,
And so they like
no.
pulled it out of theaters. They weren't showing it anywhere because like everyone was freaking out about theater shootings.
And you're gonna go
specifically.
see that in the theater. You're gonna watch that happen in the theater. That's gonna be scary as hell. But yeah, because Vince McMahon dying, that would have been a big difference, right?
Yeah.
Like, because I guess he killed God, right? So maybe he would have came back as like a demon, an evil demon or something. But like,
The devil probably looks a lot like Vince McMahon.
I can see him playing him in a movie.
But yeah, WWE really starts cleaning up its act. Very squeaky clean. John Cena's a champion a lot of the time. A lot of the time. And Vince is really laid low until now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some shit came out, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I think we skipped something important.
Yeah.
The plane ride from hell.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Gabriel. That's a whole other episode.
That sounds familiar. It's
There's a really good Vice documentary on it, or Vice Dark Side of the Ring.
oh, okay.
And there's a couple plane ride from hells, but there's just all sorts of stuff. Guys getting drunk and trying to wrestle each other. Ric Flair pulling his cock out.
Like a private
Yeah,
jet or like
Kurt's-
a
Yeah, it's their plane.
okay.
Yeah,
And-
Vince used to have a private jet that all the wrestlers would fly on.
just
All the
picture-
stars would fly
I
on.
just pictured like
Yeah.
just a normal plane going to Florida and either whipping their dicks out and wrestling in the
Can
aisle.
you imagine like they doing this on like a normal passenger plane?
Yeah, I would just get my phone out. Oh shit.
Yeah, and I think there was something about
Yeah,
I want to say it was Lesnar and Hennig wrestling to the point where they
Yeah,
like
Kurt-
knocked open one of the windows or doors.
Yeah, Kurt
Okay.
Hennig tried. Like Kurt Hennig was like a prankster.
Yeah,
like, he
one of the
always,
best.
Like, yeah, he was like a big time like prankster, and he got really drunk and tried to open like the plane door
Holy
mid-flight,
shit, dude.
and that's like of course like it's scary as fuck and like people don't know, but it's actually impossible to open the plane door like mid-flight.
Okay,
It requires like superhuman strength to do this, and like literally nobody can do this. But
all the wrestlers
anyway, like,
pushing on it at the same time.
yeah. So and then like Lesnar, like they got into a fight because of it. Lesnar got scared and started beating his ass or something like that.
Holy shit.
Hennig said he beat Brock Lesnar like ass, but I can't believe.
Yeah.
Like Brock Lesnar is pretty legit, so
Yeah.
and he was drunk, so
Do you know the movie Rashomon, Gabriel?
no.
So I had to watch it in film appreciation class, but the whole point of it is that it's like you get the stories of three different people. You get the same story told from three different people, and you see how things are different. I would love to see someone do like a movie version of that with the plane ride from hell.
You get all these like
Yeah.
skewed details to make them look a little better as they're telling it. Yeah, that's that's awesome.
Yeah, now Vince is in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah.
So first thing that starts getting out is Vince paid someone some hush money to shut the fuck up about their relationship. Ends up coming out, Vince paid her $3 million of his own money to keep his mouth shut. The problem being when Vince promoted her from her legal aid position and doubled her salary with company money. So that's when stuff starts really getting investigated.
Because you can, I mean, you're allowed to pay people off, kind of, right? Like,
Yeah,
legally.
non-disclosure agreements are a thing.
But that, I guess just the context of it
Yeah,
doesn't look good if you
when-
own
when-
the company.
Right.
Like when he's like, there's a lot of like stakeholders and people that they need to know what the fuck's happening like with the company money.
Yeah.
And I think when he started fucking with company money to do this kind of stuff, he got cocked on that.
Yeah, that's a
Like-
big doubling someone's salary for seemingly no reason.
Right.
Like, yeah, that's,
there was there was a reason.
yeah, there is.
Yeah. And so then it gets out after that Vince passed her like a toy. Direct quote from an email from the girl's friend to one of the other executives who has a history of like saying demeaning things to women and is pointed out as a creep by like a lot of women who leave the company.
Okay.
So Vince and that dude John Laurinaitis step down. Some people step up. Then news starts coming out about Vince having spent $13 million in non-disclosure
That's a big.
over
That's a getting.
4 women, including one woman who supposedly got $7.5 million from him. And there's talk from the investigation that this woman was coerced into sexual acts with
Okay.
Mr. McMahon and thought that maybe she wouldn't have a job if things didn't go.
Yeah, the position of power, especially with him being, founder of the Kiss My Ass Club and whatnot, you know, that position of power definitely, I think, holds a like umbrella over you to make you like kind of looming. But how much money is he fucking playing around with for him to casually drop 13 million on affairs?
I mean, he's a billionaire.
He's okay. He's a billionaire. Okay.
Yeah, he's a wealthy.
I
man.
figured, but
it's
damn,
a wealthy family.
that's just so insane. It's just 13 casually on non-disclosures.
Yeah, over like 20 years.
Still, though, I
Yeah.
feel like I would.
$1 million a year budget to, cover up everything I've done.
That would stress me the fuck out.
Yeah.
I would be so stressed out, so, like just eating at you. But yeah, I mean, obviously, because it can come out fucking 20 years later, like apparently.
And another big thing that happened is some old rape allegations got brought up with Rita Chatterton, former WWE referee in, I want to say, the 90s.
Okay.
She had said something about, Vince forcing himself on her. They had also been in a consensual relationship that people knew about, so it was like really tough to prove anything.
Yeah.
And very complicated situation. Got swept under the rug then,
How
and is
did-
now coming out
Yeah.
again.
So how did the non-disclosure agreements leak? Was it like a Me Too, but with
Someone
non-disclosure agreements?
sent an email to the WWE board of directors, claiming to be a friend of the woman.
Okay.
And then they also contacted, I want to say it was the Wall Street Journal.
Okay.
And so the Wall Street Journal ended up
It's a biggin.
reporting it like a couple weeks after the board of directors had been told about it, because their investigation started before the story leaked.
Okay.
But no punishment for Vince McMahon or anything happened until after the story leaked, or
Yeah.
stepping down.
Right. Stepping down.
Yeah. I don't think like if anything like they wouldn't do anything if it didn't got like out like on the media, because like
No, why would you?
yeah. It's Vince McMahon, like he's like a important part of the company, and they wouldn't get rid of him like that. But
Yeah, if only 13 people know, just give them each $1 million to sign an NDA, and you're good to go.
and he owns over half of the voting rights. What Vince wants to happen with that stock is going to happen with that stock.
He still does?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He didn't sell any of his stock. All he did was retire as chairman, CEO, and head of creative.
Okay.
So he never said anything about retiring as a talent. He never said anything about not appearing on
He's
TV
gonna
again.
wrestle still?
yeah,
He wrestled last WrestleMania
That's fucking
and won.
Yeah.
I'll add.
Not God, though.
he wrestled Pat McAfee, right?
Yeah.
So has
Yeah.
he lost to people since he beat God?
Yeah. 'Cause,
Okay.
he's also the oldest WWE champion of all time because he did win the WWE championship at one point. Former ECW world champion.
Okay. So there's people that by default have kind of wrestled God because they beat him post God fight.
Kind of.
Like a translation sort of.
Yeah, it's a paradox.
But yeah, so he's, stepped down at this point.
Right. And so that's as of this weekend.
Damn.
I think it was yesterday they finally announced Triple H is taking back over as head of creative. So that's got a lot of people excited.
It's a big changes coming, huh? I mean, maybe.
Yeah, I think like in my opinion, with the combination of like the program like going, it's what now? It's PG-14.
TV 14, yeah.
Yeah,
Same thing.
So with the combination of like with Triple H as head of creative, and like the product can be a little bit more like dirt right now. I think AEW is maybe going out of business in a year or two.
Oh.
Like
Damn.
yeah, because like Vince, I think he was like out of touch with a lot of stuff. So I think Triple H has, even though I don't like Triple H a lot, I think he has like a better vision of like what the fans want nowadays than Vince did.
Yeah.
So I think this may be a good thing for like WWE, because
I think it will be overall.
It seems that
Yeah.
like even though Vince like seeming at one point was like nailing it, it just seemed like power and money and time and stress can really get you clouded up.
Why people over 70 shouldn't run countries or companies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how old's Triple H?
Triple H is early 50s, late 40s.
Okay.
I know he's like a year or two younger than Batista, which is crazy.
Wow. Yeah. He went in the movie route too, huh?
Batista? Yeah, he's doing pretty well for himself.
He's doing some big films.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's like a serious actor right now. He's not just like a action flick actor. He's pretty good.
Do you think a lot of like wrestlers deep down want to be an actor more, but they're just a little bit of an athlete, so they're like, yeah, and that's kind of how they're trying to get their foot in the door?
I think it's a big part of it. Yeah, a lot of guys have theater backgrounds.
Because it is like equally theater and athletics. So if you're just a fit dude and you could take a slam, but you really want to, be in Guardians of the Galaxy, that's a good place to start, I guess.
I think it's like it's 50-50.
Okay.
Like, you can see like I forgot the name of the guy. Just remember his nickname, the gold standard. What's his name? I forgot. He broke into like WWE with Brock Lesnar.
Not
and he
Jindrak.
No. Oh, I have to search it. It's really his name, but it's just escaped it. But he broke into WWE, and he was just like a phenom as far as athleticism. He was really accomplished NCAA wrestler, but he had no promo, so he.
Oh, are you talking about Sean O'Hare?
No.
I can't do it.
No, I didn't.
Let me just I have to search it. And like he had no promo, so he spent like his entire career more like a mid carder, because like he could do everything in the ring, but he didn't have it was not charisma, but he had the umph on
You gotta be a
his words,
star.
and
Yeah.
the star is like a complete package.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's kind of where we're at now. I guess I got some funny pictures to look at. I got some funny memes to talk about with Vince.
Yeah. Do I pull it? Are you gonna?
Yeah, I just found the guy's name. It's Shelton Benjamin.
Oh, Shelton Benjamin still rules though.
Yeah, he's good. He's good. I'm not saying he's bad, but like he missed like promo skills, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here, I can.
Yeah.
I think I can do it like this, and share it with them. We can check out some of these memes real quick.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You want to look at some Vince McMahon memes, Gabriel?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I was looking at this one on Google Images.
All right,
Yeah.
so I'm just gonna go through them just front to back, if that works.
Front to back. Yeah, I got them labeled in order.
In that order, yeah. Okay. So, what do we got here? We got.
Oh, so that's Vince's filmography, which I thought was really, really funny. As you can see, he's played Mr. McMahon and Mr. McMahon.
I love how they had to break it, because they had to break it into that little section because he did that right in the middle of the WrestleMania mystery and that one. Wow. Wait, Surf's Up 2.
Wave Mania.
They wrestle in Surf's Up 2, the Penguin movie?
I don't know. We gotta watch
What
it.
the fuck?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I actually know about this. Surf's Up 1 was a huge hit, but
Right.
Surf's Up 2 nobody watched it. But it ends up like being, there's Undertaker, there's like John Cena, everybody's in this movie.
Okay,
They're
wow.
like penguins.
What the hell, dude?
I don't know
Yeah,
how I
they
would have
surf.
missed this at the time. I've seen it since I've seen Wave Mania, and it looks like a WrestleMania logo. And I was like, wow, they really couldn't think of like a cooler name for the big surfing competition.
Yeah,
But
so
Wow, that's.
yeah, John Cena is in it. Triple H, The Undertaker, Vince McMahon.
Okay.
Everybody's in it.
that's our next movie night.
Yeah, because do we even need to watch the first one? Because like I knew
we
Surf's
could.
Up 1 was a big deal, but I guess I didn't know whether there was a sequel or not. But I for sure didn't know it was called Wave Mania and had John Cena in it. That was late too. Yeah, 2017. Wow. Well, yeah, I'm down to watch that.
Hell yeah.
All right, what do we got here?
Okay, so this is just a classic format.
Right.
Because when I was putting the episode together earlier, I thought we were gonna maybe talk, have more pictures and visual aids and such.
Right.
But so this is just,
I have seen this a lot.
yeah,
I did.
classic format. You're about to see a couple more.
Okay.
So sometimes they'll use it. That's just Vince acting surprised. I thought it was a funny meme.
Right. It's acting surprised.
And so, funny enough, the woman he's reacting to, Xavier. Oh no, we don't have the right one in here. Yeah, we
Well,
do.
breaking it out. What do we
Got
got?
The Sable Playboy.
Oh wait, it's not pulled up.
Oh no. Oh well.
It's fine.
Edit this in post.
We'll put it in post. Yeah, it's
Edit.
Sable Playboy.
Yeah, edit in post.
Wow. It's explicit. All right.
She's actually dancing on a table for him during this, and she actually married Brock Lesnar,
Wow. Okay.
and I think they're married still.
So this wasn't the, not the one of the women.
Not one of the women,
One of the
probably.
women.
And this was just to show his kind of worldwide appeal.
Wow. Yeah, he's fully worldwide with that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pitbull. What's this one?
Oh. You see a cat.
Wow.
It looks over, sees you. You. Pss, pss, pss. It walks your direction.
So there's a wide range, I guess, of the actual memes themselves.
Yeah, and also I wanted to kind of just point out that all memes are cyclical. You know, that's the exact same as like the Galaxy Brain
Yeah.
meme. Sort of like how the Drake meme with the is the same as like the cars going off the road.
Right. There's an evolution of the same format.
And so this I want to say was 2020. This is Vince hopping off the stairs after Raw.
Okay. He's looking older.
And so yeah, this is background. This isn't necessarily a meme.
Yeah.
But
This was right before shit went down, huh? Because this
2020.
Those
so
are
a
real
couple years
real
ago.
No, I meant like shit in 2020 went down. Because those are real people, not robot TVs.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you could tell when it was the robot TVs. It was weird.
Yes. Yeah. Oh shit! There he is.
Yeah. It was at that time that he jumped like from a balcony to show like how Pat McAfee should jump.
Yeah.
Was at the
He
same
jumped off a
time.
balcony?
Yeah.
Did he get hurt?
How tall was that?
I want to say it was like 15 feet, but I might be.
Just onto the ground, just on concrete. He jumped on.
No,
No, it was onto like a crash pad.
Oh, okay. But he was showing how to do it. I thought, did he get hurt? Was that recently?
On his age, like
It hurt
yeah,
him,
he's
I'm sure.
pretty
But
old.
He didn't show it.
I
okay.
bet Vinny no sold it for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
We can see what's next.
Damn.
So, but do you recognize that guy he's hitting in the face? Xavier?
I don't. Is
Okay.
it?
That's CM Punk.
Oh shit. Okay.
During his ill-fated run in the UFC.
Damn.
Because after...
He looks bloody and bashed.
Yeah, he got bashed and was made very bloody.
Holy shit. Damn, that's funny.
Yeah, that's a really good one, I thought.
Yeah, that's sad.
Oh, man, that's the uncropped one. I fucked up.
Oh, that's fine.
Wow.
I can zoom in a little.
Also,
Joker.
just
Yeah,
A for
he's the
effort on this
Joker,
one.
but
I left the handle in there because I thought they did such a good job.
Yeah, there's that handle. Abdul's 97 Abdul Malik.
Shout out 97 Abdul Malik.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Is that fucking?
That's in sync.
And he's in sync with him.
Yeah.
He's.
Okay, so this
Oh.
is Vince doesn't do a lot of press outside WWE. But
Okay.
this is his Playboy interview. If someone wants to narrate it,
Should I read
this
it?
is a specific excerpt that I picked out. The entire thing is batshit, but this is the most batshit part. Yeah, somebody read it.
McMahon pauses. That was at a very young age. I remember probably in the first grade being invited to a matinee film with my stepbrother and his girlfriends, and I remember them playing with me, playing with my penis and giggling. I thought that was pretty cool. That was my initiation into sex. At that age, you don't necessarily achieve an erection, but it was cool. And around the same time, there was a girl my age who was, in essence, my cousin. Later in life,
My
she
God.
actually wound up marrying that asshole Leo Lupton, my stepfather. Boy, this sounds like Tobacco Road. Anyway, I remember the two of us being so curious about each other's bodies, but not knowing what the hell to do. We would go into the woods and get naked together. It felt good, and for some reason, I wanted to put crushed leaves into her. This was in Playboy?
This is in Playboy.
What the fuck was it? Who? I want the name of the person that fucking did this interview.
What the fuck?
Don't know why, but I remember that. I don't remember the first name I had. The first time I had intercourse, believe it or not. Playboy, your growing up was pretty accelerated. Man, God, yes. That's like the Lil Wayne.
What's
Like Lil Wayne's like, yeah, I had sex with a stripper when I was like 4 years old. It's like, what the hell? Why are you? You should be talking to therapist, not Playboy.
Well, and here's the other thing that doesn't really get across. This is a shared interview with his son, who's also being interviewed at the same time and getting
And given
the story.
the spilling the beans on his sexual encounters in front of his dad. Probably not the same. They're probably a little more normal
not
than
quite as brash.
not quite as brass. Well, he's got them brass balls. They're as brassy as the shows he puts
balls.
on. Holy cow, dude. That's nuts. I didn't know what the fuck I was.
And that's just one paragraph. It's like 11 pages.
My God.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's something else.
Dude, Playboy interviews are crazy. People say the dumbest shit. Oh, that's him getting his head shaved after he lost to Donald Trump's friend.
Who's this gentleman?
That's Bobby Lashley.
Okay.
That's the guy who was Trump's wrestler.
Well, shit. That's a pretty pretty wild way to outro there with that interview.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told you I had a bomb saved.
Yeah, that's wild. You didn't know about that, Gabriel?
Yeah, I had no idea. It blindsided me.
Well, because, I mean, Vince has done, like, 5 interviews ever outside of WWE.
And that's
Because he
one
got,
of
like,
them?
Bob Costas made him look kind of dumb and, like, an asshole. And then he had, like, another, like, public statement after the steroid trial. And then really, neither of those went well. So he didn't do anything until Pat McAfee.
And then
The
2
show, and that
Playboys.
was-
Or 1 Playboy.
Yeah, and did a Playboy interview at some point.
Yeah.
And just, like, put all that out there. It's just, for some reason, the man does not interview well. Except when McAfee
McMahon.
interviews him.
The
Yeah.
McMahon.
And it's weird because he's like really like he's big time famous and he never like it feels like he's in a bubble on WWE. Like he's in that universe and like he's always present there, but like outside of that, I don't think he made a lot of appearances. I saw him at the UFC event in Las Vegas. Like he looked so out of place. It was like so it's really weird. Him, I think it was Pat McAfee, Stephanie, and Triple H. I think I may be getting it messed up, but
No, you got it right.
Yeah.
I think Nick Khan was there too, and McAfee had the neck brace on. I remember.
yeah, he was selling something. He took he took this the.
It was
this
Baron
tenor.
Corbin. It's not worth remembering.
McMahon's
Yeah,
sitting around
so-
pissed he didn't buy it. Just like
Yeah, I have some quick notes.
Yeah.
I made like a compilation of like weird moments
Okay,
of Vince
hell yeah.
McMahon, like on air and off air.
nice.
So I will start from he did not know what a burrito was.
Yes.
And there's a
When?
big detail. No, there's a big detail. He ate one every day. And he didn't know what it was called.
It's a big taco, big sealed up taco.
Yeah.
What was?
He-
Holy shit.
Yeah, he's considered the world's strongest billionaire, and I think to this day he may still be, even at this age.
Yeah.
Until The Rock hits $1 billion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that. Do you think The Rock is close to $1 billion?
I don't know. We'll
Man.
see how the XFL does now that he's taking it over.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay. Yeah.
So he reportedly sleeps 2 hours a day. I don't know how he survived this long doing this, but yeah, everybody that knows him says he sleeps like he hates his sleep.
That's not even
So
one of
2
like
hours a
the.
day.
There's like all those alternative sleep schedules. That's not even on there. Just 2 hours a day. That's insane.
Yeah, that's a net.
The only person I've heard claim even close to that is we had a, not to rile you up, a hypnotist come to our school one time, and he claimed that he would hypnotize himself, and 3 hours of being hypnotized was as good as 8 hours of sleep.
That would be
Oh,
cool.
that's crazy.
If it would be neat if that was real.
Yeah. So Vince doesn't like party a lot with the guys, like the wrestlers, but like when he does, it always or it will make like the news, or it will be like an epic story.
Holy
So
shit.
he was like at a strip club with a lot of wrestlers, like the Hearts,
The Road Warriors.
Road Warriors, and I think there was more, but I think these two groups were the more important of this story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they were there, and Vince has like a thing for taking big bumps, like the finishers. He liked to take like the finishers from wrestling, from wrestlers. So he I don't know how he he ended up taking a doomsday device on hard floor and not hurting himself. And like the doomsday, I know we can show video here, but the doomsday device, it's a really dangerous move on itself.
Okay.
And I can't imagine it on hard floor. I think people like think it was Hulk Hogan and someone called to him, so he wouldn't kill himself.
Yeah.
But and then he like no sold it, and Bret Hart and Jim Neidhart, they gave him their finisher. It was the heart attack.
Okay.
And yeah, and it was a really hard hitting move too. So yeah, he's crazy. He likes to take bumps, and
Yeah.
that
Well, and funny enough, I think the backstory to that and what instigated it was that Vince was intentionally egging on an argument about which finisher was the best finisher between the heart attack and the doomsday device. I think that was the whole source of it, was Vince egging things on, because Vince loves conflict.
yeah.
I'm trying to picture, a stronger billionaire, and there's really not, right? Like, there's like Elon Musk might be like the closest fucking rival.
Oh my
to
Yeah,
god, Vince
Elon
would
Musk.
whoop Elon's ass.
But like, who else? Like, 'cause Bezos ain't gonna do it. Bill Gates would run.
Actually, Bezos is really like, I think he's maybe getting on the juice lately. He's
Okay.
pretty like yoked, but
definitely
he's not strongest. Strong under it. Yeah. So next one is he pooped on his pants on live TV, trying to fart on Jerry Briscoe, who has like a really weak stomach. He wanted to make him poop. So he tried to fart so hard he ended up shitting on himself, and like really hard. The way like you could see like the skid mark. So the camera crew was instructed to not film his butt, so it won't show the shit on his head.
Do you know what year that was?
No, I don't remember. It's pretty old. I think it was the 90s maybe.
Okay, yeah. Holy shit.
Yeah. So Vince McMahon and his beard. Yeah, this one's like really it show like how eccentric this guy is, because you can never find like a picture of him with beard, and people who are close to him say that he has like a really good, like he has really good beard genetics. Like he has a full beard, and he is constantly like grinding his face with the shaver, like
weird.
shaving like constantly, so he doesn't let his beard grow. And somebody asked him like, why you don't like let your beard grow? It will probably look great. And his answer was, I can't let it win.
Why? I feel like you can get like laser hair removal at that point if you're a fucking billionaire.
That's letting it win.
I guess that is letting it win, huh? He's
I
got to
can't-
keep the fight going.
Okay.
That's
He keeps
fucking
fighting
funny,
it.
dude.
Yeah, so next one, I think it's pretty talked about, but Vince McMahon's words, like prohibited words list. So he has like, back in the day he had like words that he didn't like.
Okay.
Some like, it was maybe a handful of words, but now he has like a full blown like list that like people reportedly get handed on like the backstage. It includes like wrestler.
What does
I
he
think-
like instead of wrestler?
Superstar.
Superstar? Okay.
Superstar, yeah.
Okay.
Sports entertainer, maybe. Yeah, Jericho was trying to copyright sports entertainer. Yeah, I don't think he
Okay.
succeeded.
No.
Yeah, it's
it
a
would
tough
be
one.
big middle finger. So yeah, he has like, and it's not like even like words that make sense that he doesn't like. It's just like weird words that people better not say around him.
Yeah, the big one is
so yeah.
hospital. They never say hospital on WWE television. They always say local medical facility.
Dude,
Yeah.
this list of shit is making him so much more bizarre.
Or like,
He is
Yeah.
what?
It's
This-
another big one is don't call it a belt. It's a championship. It's a
Yeah.
title.
Okay.
Yeah, belt and yeah, I think I can't remember a lot from top of my head, but
I thought they were gonna be like swear words, but they're just normal words, right? Yeah. See, it
Yeah.
sounds like he swears still. Then he's just not. It doesn't say wrestler or hospital. That's. So that's gonna change then. If he's gone, huh? They might start saying
Yeah, maybe.
hospital.
yeah, maybe.
Whoa. Okay. That might be significant then.
Yeah. So next one is trying to outlift Mark Henry, who was the winner of the World's Strongest Man, I think 2000 something, and he actually succeeded on outlifting him, but
What?
it was he caught Mark Henry at the end of an workout, and he was already getting tired, so he went there and he started like, of course he can't lift as much as him, so they went like the equivalent of like, that's my max and that's your max, let's
Okay.
do it for reps. And Mark Henry actually quit before he quit, so
Holy
he ended up
shit.
winning. So
You think he was trying to
but
get a
even though
wrestling
like
gig?
Mark Henry was tired and stuff, but
Mark Henry was a
And-
wrestler.
Oh, okay.
yeah. So after that, he called Mark Henry the next day and just said like, I made a huge mistake. Like his body just like must like gave out or something like that,
Yeah.
because it was super intensive. And like Mark Henry is a really like legit like strongman. He won the Arnold Strongman, and
An
he
Olympian.
went into the Olympics.
Is
Yeah.
he like one of the guys that doesn't
He
look
could-
real? Like he's so jacked, like it's like
No, he's like square and strong.
square. Okay.
Yeah, he's really big.
Damn.
And he could dunk a basketball, I think at 300 something pounds of weight.
Holy
And
shit!
he's not that tall. He's tall, but he's not
That's probably
like a
my
giant.
height.
Just them legs are that strong to launch his ass up there.
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah.
That's
He's really explosive. So yeah, Vince outlifted him. So one time Vince went running to the ring, and just like his legs seemingly like gave out, and after that he couldn't stand still. So after that they find out like he tore both of his quads at
Oh.
the same time, and the quad is like the muscle that you makes your leg stay straight.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know how he ended up trying both at the same
it's
time.
like a
and
one in a
he-
million movement to do
yeah,
that. Like,
it's common to tar one, but both it's just like and outside of a gym. Of course, you can do this like squatting, but he was just running and then just both of his legs went off.
Jesus.
So yeah, that's something weird that happened to him.
Yeah, well, and the craziest part about it too is it happened. This year's Royal Rumble was really, really strange, and Batista and John Cena both accidentally go over the top rope and hit the ground at the exact same time.
Okay.
So Vince, unplanned, has to run back out to the ring to restart the match. And as he's getting into the ring, is like when that happens and he blows his legs out. So he's sitting down announcing like the restarting of the match.
Wow.
It's a very surreal moment. And it's
Yeah.
like-
Yeah, it's rare. It's really rare. So yeah, I think that's the last one, but it's just it's not actually it's the weirdest thing that he ever done was hiring Vince Russo. So just a joke, but yeah, I think I went through my list. Yeah, it was everything.
That was that I'm glad you had that. That really here's this
Yeah,
So is he dead?
burn it,
He's-
burn it.
Yeah, no, that really was the icing on the cake here. How strange he is, because that is a wild list of attributes for one guy to have.
Well, and I got one more actually that
Okay.
Gabriel's facts reminded me of. Vince McMahon hates sickness,
Is that what-
specifically
Yeah.
sneezing.
Sneezing, yeah.
He thinks sneezing is a sign of weakness, a sign that you cannot control yourself.
so not a germphobe.
I mean, he thinks it's disgusting,
Okay.
but I mean,
Yeah.
he thinks being sick is just being weak, and he'll be like, there's been stories about him like having a fever and just being like, no, I'm fine.
No,
It's
I
like,
don't.
no
No, I
selling
fucking do have a fever. Is that why I won't say hospital? Partially, maybe. Like,
Yeah, he thinks the word hospital is unappetizing and has like bad thoughts in people's heads. So they're gonna associate like negative shit with whatever's being on his product right then. If hospitals get mentioned too much.
That's
Yes.
that is an
Yeah,
interesting.
and like he's a really like he's I think something that can classify him like even with the recent stuff going on. I think he's maybe like the Walt Disney of wrestling. Like,
Okay.
and Walt Disney was an asshole too, so
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
fitting. So yeah, he's crazy, he's eccentric, and he's completely like insane.
They're gonna have Vince McMahon's quads frozen underneath the ring. It's gonna be
Probably.
preserved forever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
man.
actually, I saw a video. I'm not sure like the weight that was, but it was post double quad tier. I think he squatted like something over like 600 pounds,
Shit.
like at like 70 something years old, and he's
Oh my
he's okay.
god, dude.
He's a strong guy, man. And it's a crazy what an ego can like allow you to do.
Yeah, apparently that's.
Yeah.
Well, damn, is that it then? That's a
think
pretty.
that's
That's a
everything.
pretty solid. This is one of our longer episodes. I learned a lot, to be honest.
Yeah.
You guys really did a good job.
Oh yeah, I booked a run in Gabriel, but Bryson got COVID and couldn't do it.
Oh,
Yes.
Bryce Stone. I'm gonna call out him now.
Oh yeah, cut a promo on Bryson.
Oh,
No,
shit.
no, I can't cut a promo. But I'll say something. Bryce Stone, you literally moved houses to not accepted my challenge. You are a coward.
That COVID is a
That's
sign of
fuck-
weakness.
That's right.
That's fucking race.
Holy shit! Well, Bryce did. Yeah, I mean the ball's in your court now, man. I will make sure he hears that.
Bryson versus Gabriel. Add it to our pro wrestling card.
Hell yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming on, dude. This was a lot of fun, and like I said, I learned a lot. I'm like overwhelmed with how much I took in here, but I feel like I got a pretty good feel of everything. So thank you for educating me, guys.
Yeah, hell yeah, Gabriel. Thanks for doing this. Thanks for keeping it secret. Thanks for letting us know we can trust you forever. Officially, friend of the show, #1 friend of the show.
Superstar.
Yeah, it's over, guys.
We're
Yeah,
not
it was a lot of fun. I want to thank you guys. It was a lot of fun. I didn't have a good week last week, and this right here was it was great. I had a lot of fun. It's great to talk to you guys.
Hell yeah, man.
Yes, this will not be the last. We'll be in touch soon for sure to
sure.
do something
Yeah,
else.
just
'cause-
let me know.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Alrighty. Peace out, dude.
All right,
Later, dude.
peace out. Bye.